as embodied by Amitabha, the Buddha Amitabha. So I can say a little bit about Amitabha. And Amitabha is, well, his name means infinite light, which I think is interesting. So a phrase you sometimes get in Buddhism is, the light, something like the light of awareness, or the light of pure awareness. So light here doesn't necessarily mean physical light, but like physical light, the analogy, that light shows everything up in detail. And another aspect of Amitabha is his wisdom. Each of these Buddhas of the 5 Buddha Mandala have a wisdom, and the wisdom of Amitabha is sometimes referred to as the all-distinguishing wisdom. So it distinguishes things, it sees the difference in everything, and it loves the difference in everything. So Amitabha is very much the Buddha of the 5 Buddha Mandala who's associated most with love, metta, and compassion. So there's this connection between seeing with awareness, the light, as it were, of awareness enables us to see everything as it is, and to love everything as it is. And one of the qualities of awareness, which is also the qualities of metta and karuna, the metta, so positive emotion in the Buddhist sense, and compassion, is its ability to be with all of our experience. So although we talk about developing awareness really is already here. So although we say developing awareness, in some ways what we're really talking about is just removing the things that stop awareness being manifest. So everything we experience is accompanied by awareness, from the seeing of a pin to everything we hear through the 6 senses, and all of our thoughts and mental constructions, they're all accompanied by awareness. Awareness is just here, and awareness is intimate with everything in our experience. Maybe it doesn't seem like this sometimes, but it's totally intimate with everything that's arising in our experience. So another way of talking about Amitabha's wisdom, and the title of this our class today, is the wisdom of being with. So it's that capacity to be with our experience and be intimate with our experience without, this basic pushing and pulling that tends to go on with our experience. And which leads to this splitting up of awareness, splitting up of the mind into a me here and a world out there, and you out there and me in here. So this intimacy is very much this notion of an undivided awareness, a non-separateness with everything that arises. And again, this brings us back to the wisdom and the love of Amitabha. So I thought what we do today in terms of meditation is to do the 5-stage Metta Bhavana, but with this quality of just allowing everything to be as it is. So ourselves to be just as we are, the good friend to be just as they are, the neutral person and the difficult person, and then just to expand that out. So I'll lead us through all that as we go through the meditation. And we'll start, as we usually do, with the body. Partly because the body is, some of our most intimate experience. Actually, when we're kind of lost in our thinking mind, in a way, we're removed from that world of the intimate experience of awareness. But when we come into the body, it's very here, it's very present, and it's very intimate, potentially. Okay. So that's all I'm going to say. So let's set up for meditation. So making sure we've got a good posture. And unhooking from the thinking mind. Bringing attention into the physical experience. And we'll just gradually move the center, the locus of attention, down from the head into the lower abdomen. So you might be able to do this just very directly, straight away as it were. But often if we've been spending, as we usually are, a lot of time in the thinking mind, We have to unstick our attention from thinking and bring it into direct sensate experience. So if we just go straight to the lower abdomen, it's a bit like the thinking mind is just going to the lower abdomen, or an idea of the lower abdomen. We want to come into a direct embodied experience of that. And that means paying attention to sensation, to the body, maybe descending gradually from the head down to the lower abdomen, picking up on the different sensations as we move down. So we'll just spend a few minutes doing that, and hopefully coming to a point where we start to feel more embodied. Moving into direct experience of the physical body is also a coming into the here and now. The mind tries to take us out of the here and now by going to past thoughts or future thoughts. But that becomes suspended when we start to enter into a direct awareness of the body. Notice any resistance to the process of becoming embodied. Quite often there's a kind of message coming from the mind that doesn't want to relinquish its control. That message might appear as boredom or restlessness or anxiety. Just Just taking in whether there's any of those elements in our experience. Not shutting them out of the experience or pushing them away. This doesn't work. It just tends to reinforce them. Just allowing any resistance to be, as it were, folded back into experience. We're just being aware of the resistance and greeting it. Awareness itself has no problem with anything in our experience. It's just the mind that has a problem. Awareness simply is with whatever is arising. So maybe you can notice that. So simply being with our experience, whatever it is, as it arises. And as it passes away. All experience is transitory. All thoughts, all feelings, all perceptions. But awareness remains. Awareness is like the space through which all of our experience arises and passes away. Just relaxing into this aware state where we notice all our experience and we accept everything that's simply arising in a way it's not personal, it's just is. An open, spacious, warm, allowing of everything in our experience. All thoughts, all feelings, all sensations, all perceptions. The light of awareness simply reveals, sees everything that arises and allows everything to arise without judgment or bias. Intimate with all experience. And move through the stages of the Metta Bhavana. Nice. Moving into the second stage. And calling to mind in the usual way a good friend. So as we call to mind the good friend through imagination or a felt sense, whatever we're calling them to mind, completely allowing that good friend to be there, to be just as they are. Their existence, their being, their personality, their qualities, allowing them into awareness, awareness that has no need or ideas about them being something other than what they are. Distinguishing wisdom sees the uniqueness of this person and is totally allowing of that uniqueness. It's also totally allowing of any resistance we might have. Noticing what we don't want to allow to be there with that person. Just greeting that and letting it in. Maybe there are aspects of that person, habits, foibles, simply allowing all that to be there. Stepping back into, relaxing back into larger, spacious, allowing awareness that can hold all experience within it. We're moving into the third stage, calling to mind in the usual way the neutral person. So often with the neutral person, we have its very nature, some unknownness, which may give rise to some anxiety or even fear. Just allowing that experience of unknownness, of trepidation to just be there. It's okay, it's natural. There will also be elements of curiosity and interest. Another person can be like an undiscovered country or landscape. There may be difference or apparent difference. All of these responses, there's no need to control any of them, just allowing them to arise, to be there. The person as they are, to be there. Noticing any contraction, tightening in our experience that might arise as we introduce the neutral person into our awareness. And allowing that to be there. It's okay to be feeling what we're feeling, experiencing what we're experiencing. It's just what's arising at this moment. It's not me, it's not mine, it's not personal, it doesn't define me. Moving into the fourth stage, calling to mind the difficult person. Using our imagination and also felt sense that comes with that. Noticing any responses that arise in relation to the difficult person. Perhaps we notice contraction, certain tightening in the body or the mind. If there is contraction, use the breath to breathe into that contracted sense. Maybe it's in a particular place in the body. Just allowing the breath to ease, relax, and dissolve any contraction that's going on. Noticing the open, spacious nature of awareness, like the blue sky, and the contractions are like clouds. Notice that any clouds do not change the nature of the blue sky. In the same way, whenever we have a contraction in the body or the mind, awareness itself is unaffected. It's still there within that experience, like the background, blue sky. It doesn't stop the passage of any clouds across it. Allowing our responses to the difficult person to be what they are. Not trying to control our responses. At the same time, not allowing ourselves to fall into any stories, keeping touch with the blue sky, the greater space of awareness. All our responses and stories are like temporary manifestations in that blue sky. The blue sky remains after they're gone. Moving into the final stage. So opening out to more and more of our experience. To the other bodily senses. And letting in of the world. Allowing, accepting, receiving into awareness. Into the warmth of awareness, which is metta. The blue sky, allowing all experience to arise within it, non-judgmentally, without sticking to anything. The light of awareness is non-discriminating, and yet at the same time it sees the uniqueness and allows the uniqueness of everything. The so-called good, the so-called bad, all beings, all things, all experience. Allowed, received, welcomed into the light of awareness.